Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. I'm Mr. B.
And I'm Anna. So glad you're here with us today.
Anna, before we start, I need to tell you something crazy. Yesterday, I met someone who completely changed their life in just 6 months, from sleeping until noon every day to waking up at 5 in the morning, starting their own business and losing 20 kilograms.
What? That's incredible. How did they do it?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll know the exact steps to change your own life too. So stick around because we're sharing some secrets that actually work.
I'm excited. You know, Mr. B, a lot of people want to change their lives, but they don't know where to start. It feels overwhelming, right?
Absolutely. And that's the biggest problem. People think they need to change everything at once. They wake up one Monday morning and say, "Today I'm going to exercise for 2 hours, eat only salad, learn a new language, and completely reorganize my house."
And by Tuesday, they're back on the couch eating pizza and watching Netflix.
Exactly. Been there, done that, got the pizza-stained t-shirt. So the first thing we need to understand is this. Changing your life is not about one big dramatic moment. It's about small, consistent actions every single day.
Okay, so like baby steps?
Yes, baby steps. Let me give you an example. Imagine you want to read more books. Instead of saying, "I'm going to read 50 books this year," which sounds scary and impossible,
Very scary.
instead you say, "I'm going to read just 5 pages every day." 5 pages, that's nothing. It takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, that's so much easier, and it doesn't feel like a huge commitment.
Right, but here's the magic. If you read just 5 pages every day, by the end of the year, you'll have read over 1,800 pages. That's about 6 to 8 full books.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. So it's all about consistency, not intensity.
Exactly. You just said it perfectly. Consistency beats intensity every single time, because intense motivation fades quickly, but consistent habits stick around.
Okay, so that's the first step. Start small and be consistent. What's next?
The second thing is super important, and a lot of people mess this up. You need to know your why.
My why? What do you mean?
Why do you want to change? What's your real reason? Not the surface reason, but the deep emotional reason that makes you feel something in your chest.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say someone wants to get healthier and lose weight. Their surface reason might be, "I want to look good." Okay, that's nice. But their deep why might be, "I want to have energy to play with my children. I want to be alive and healthy for my family for many years. I want to feel proud when I look in the mirror."
Oh, I see. The deeper reason has real emotion behind it.
Exactly. And when things get difficult, when you don't feel like doing your habit, that deep why is what keeps you going. The surface reason isn't strong enough.
That makes so much sense. So people need to really think about why they want to change, not just what they want to change.
Yes, spend time on this. Write it down. Make it clear. Because on day 15, when you're tired and you want to skip your new habit, you'll need that powerful reason to keep going.
I love that. So we have start small, be consistent, and know your why. What's else?
The fourth thing is environment. This is huge, Anna, huge.
Environment? You mean like where we live?
Kind of, but more than that. Your environment is everything around you. The people you spend time with, the things you see every day, the way your room is organized, the apps on your phone, everything.
Oh, so if I want to eat healthier, I shouldn't keep cookies and chocolate in my kitchen.
Bingo, you got it. If you want to eat healthy, fill your kitchen with fruits, vegetables, and healthy snacks. Make the good choice the easy choice. Don't rely on willpower, because willpower is limited. We only have so much of it every day.
That's so true. Like at the end of a long, stressful day, I have zero willpower. I just want whatever's easiest.
Exactly. So change your environment to support your goals. If you want to exercise more, put your workout clothes next to your bed before you sleep. When you wake up, they're right there. No excuses.
And what about the people around us? How important is that?
Oh, Anna, this might be the most important part of environment. There's a famous saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Really? That's powerful.
Yes, think about it. If you spend time with people who complain all the time, who never try to improve, who make fun of your goals, how hard will it be to change your life?
Almost impossible. They'll pull you down.
Exactly. But if you spend time with people who are positive, who support your goals, who are also trying to improve themselves, you'll naturally become more like them. Their good habits will influence you.
So sometimes changing your life means changing your friend group?
Sometimes, yes, and I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. You don't have to completely cut people out, but maybe spend less time with negative influences and more time with positive ones.
That's really good advice. Okay, so environment is super important. What's the fourth thing?
The fourth thing is tracking your progress. You need to measure what you're doing.
Like keeping a journal?
Yes, a journal works great. Or you can use an app or just a simple calendar. The method doesn't matter. What matters is that you track your habit every single day.
Why is tracking so important?
Because it keeps you accountable and it gives you visible proof that you're making progress. Let me tell you a story. I once wanted to exercise more, so I bought a wall calendar and put it in my bathroom. Every day I exercised, I put a big red X on that day.
Oh, I've heard of this. It's called Don't Break the Chain, right?
Yes, exactly. After a week, I had 7 red X's in a row. After 2 weeks, 14. And you know what? I didn't want to break that chain. It became a game. I wanted to see how many days in a row I could go.
That's brilliant. It makes the habit visual and fun.
Right, and here's another benefit. When you track your progress, you can see patterns. Maybe you notice you always skip your habit on Wednesdays. Why? Oh, because Wednesday is your busiest day at work. Now you can plan for that and make Wednesday easier.
So tracking helps you understand yourself better too?
Exactly. It's not about being perfect. It's about learning and improving.
I love that. Okay, we have 4 things so far. Start small, know your why, change your environment, and track your progress. Is there more?
Oh, yes. Number 5 is forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself when you mess up.
Oh, this is important because everyone makes mistakes, right?
Everyone. Nobody is perfect. You will skip days. You will eat that piece of cake when you said you wouldn't. You will sleep through your alarm and miss your morning routine. This will happen.
And what do most people do when this happens?
They quit. They think, well, I already messed up, so I might as well give up completely. I'm a failure. I can't do this.
That's so sad, but so true. I've done that myself many times.
We all have. But here's the secret. The difference between people who succeed and people who fail isn't that successful people never mess up. It's that they get back on track quickly.
So if I skip one day, I just start again the next day?
Yes. Don't skip 2 days. Never skip twice in a row. One mistake is just a mistake. 2 mistakes is the beginning of a bad habit.
Oh, that's a great rule. Never skip twice.
Right. And be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a good friend. You wouldn't say to your friend, "You're such a loser. You failed. You're worthless." That would be terrible.
No, I would say something like, hey, it's okay. Everyone has bad days. Let's try again tomorrow.
Exactly. Give yourself that same compassion. Changing your life is hard work. Be patient with yourself.
This is such good advice. I think a lot of people are too hard on themselves.
Definitely. Okay, number 6. This one is simple but powerful. Find an accountability partner.
Oh, someone who checks on you and makes sure you're doing your habit?
Yes, someone who knows your goal and who will ask you, "Hey, did you do your habit today?"
And this works because...
Because we don't want to disappoint other people. It's easy to break a promise to yourself, but when someone else is counting on you, when you have to report your progress to them, you're much more likely to actually do it.
That makes sense. We're social creatures. We care what others think.
Exactly. And it's even better if your accountability partner is also trying to change something. Then you can support each other. You're on the journey together.
Like gym buddies.
Perfect example. People who go to the gym with a friend are much more likely to keep going than people who go alone.
Okay, so accountability partners help us stay on track. What's the last piece of advice?
The last thing is celebrating your wins. This is so important, Anna, but most people forget to do it.
What do you mean by celebrating?
When you complete your habit, give yourself a small reward. It doesn't have to be big. It could be as simple as checking a box or saying out loud, "Yes, I did it," or giving yourself a little fist pump.
I like the fist pump idea.
The point is to feel good about what you did. Your brain needs to associate the habit with positive feelings. If exercising feels terrible and boring, your brain won't want to do it. But if exercising is followed by a little celebration, your brain thinks, "Oh, this is good. Let's do this again."
It's like training a dog with treats.
Kind of, yes. You're training your brain. And bigger milestones deserve bigger celebrations. If you complete 30 days in a row, do something special. Buy yourself something nice, or go out for a good meal, or watch your favorite movie.
That's fun. So changing your life doesn't have to be all serious and difficult. You can enjoy the process.
Exactly. The journey should be enjoyable. If you're miserable every day, you won't stick with it. Find ways to make your new habits fun and rewarding.
Okay, let me see if I can remember everything. We have 7 steps to change your life. Number 1, start small and be consistent. Number 2, know your deep why. Number 3, change your environment. Number 4, track your progress. Number 5, forgive yourself when you mess up. Number 6, find an accountability partner. And number 7, celebrate your wins.
Perfect. You got them all.
So, if someone is listening right now and they want to change their life, what's the very first thing they should do? Like today?
Great question. First, choose one thing. Just one. Don't try to change everything. What's one area of your life where you want to see improvement? Health, career, relationships, learning?
Okay, choose one area.
Then, pick the smallest possible habit related to that area. And I mean tiny. So small that it feels almost too easy.
Like those 5 pages of reading we talked about earlier.
Exactly. Or if you want to get fit, maybe it's just 10 push-ups. If you want to drink more water, maybe it's just 1 extra glass per day. Make it so small that you can't say no.
And then just do it every day?
Yes, every day for the next week. Just focus on that and use a calendar to track it. Put an X on every day you complete it. At the end of the week, you'll have 7 X's and you'll feel amazing.
I love how practical this is. It's not just theory. People can actually do this.
That's the goal. Changing your life isn't mysterious or complicated. It's simple, but it requires patience and consistency.
And remember what we said at the beginning. The person who changed their life in 6 months started with 1 small step.
Exactly. 6 months from now, you could be a completely different person. You could have new habits, new skills, new confidence. But it all starts with today, with one small action.
That's so inspiring. I hope everyone listening feels motivated to start right now.
Me too. And you know what? If you've made it this far in the episode, that shows you're serious about change. You're not just scrolling mindlessly. You're investing time in learning. That's already a great sign.
That's true. Just listening to this episode is a positive step.
Absolutely. All right, Anna, I think we covered everything. This was a great conversation.
It really was. I learned a lot, and I'm excited to apply these ideas myself.
Perfect. And to everyone listening, here's what I want you to do right now. If you enjoyed this episode and learned something valuable, please hit that like button. It really helps us reach more people who want to improve their lives.
Yes, and leave a comment telling us what habit you're going to start. We read every single comment, and we love hearing from you. Are you going to read more, exercise, learn English? Tell us.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? click that subscribe button. We make new episodes every week to help you improve your English and improve your life. Don't miss out.
Plus, if you subscribe, you'll be part of our amazing community. We're all on this journey together, supporting each other and growing together.
Exactly. We're not just a channel. We're a family of people who believe in constant improvement, and we'd love to have you with us.
So remember, like, comment, subscribe. 3 simple actions that take 5 seconds but mean the world to us.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Remember, changing your life starts with one small step, and you can take that step today, right now.
We believe in you. You've got this.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.